This is the story of the prodigal son, a tale of rebellion, repentance, and redemption. Stop scrolling. You're about to hear one of the most profound lessons in the Bible. It begins on a rich estate, among lush olive trees and grazing flocks. A wealthy father has two sons, both hard-working, but one restless and longing for the world beyond their quiet village. One morning, the younger son approaches his father with an unusual request. "Father, give me my share of the inheritance," he demands. In their time and culture, this is beyond audacious. Essentially, the son is implying he cannot wait for his father to die to claim his wealth. It's disrespectful, it's arrogant, and most of all, it's heartbreaking. But out of love, the father grants the request. He divides his estate and gives the younger son what he asks. The son doesn't waste time. He packs up his belongings and journeys far from home, far from his father's watchful eyes and the rules of his house. He enters a bustling city, filled with extravagant feasts, unending music, and reckless celebration. Here, he spends his inheritance on everything that catches his eye: fine clothes, grand dinners, and shallow friendships that only last as long as the money flows. For a while, he believes he's truly living. But then, the inevitable happens. The money runs out. The grand feasts turn to scraps. The laughter of friends fades when there are no coins to offer. To make things worse, a severe famine strikes the land. He's left destitute, forced to beg for work. The only job he finds is working for a pig farmer, a humiliating position, especially for a Jewish man, as pigs are considered unclean animals. Starving, he gazes longingly at the food the pigs eat, realizing how far he's fallen. He remembers his father's home, the warm bread, the olive oil, the kindness of servants who were never treated as less than family. Even my father's hired servants have food to spare, he thinks, and here I am, dying of hunger. Finally, humility takes the place of his pride. He decides to return home, not as a son, but as a servant. He rehearses his apology. "Father, I've sinned against heaven and you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me like one of your hired servants." As he draws near to his village, his heart pounds. He braces himself for humiliation and rejection. What he doesn't know is his father has been watching the horizon every day since he left, hoping, praying for his return. While the son is still a long way off, the father sees him. Without hesitation, the father runs out to meet him. This small detail, running, might seem ordinary, but in ancient times, dignified men did not run. Yet here is a father sprinting, his robes billowing behind him, driven by joy and compassion. When the father reaches his son, he embraces him tightly, as though he might lose him again. The son begins his rehearsed apology. "Father, I've sinned against heaven and you. I am—" But the father interrupts him. He calls to his servants, "Quick! Bring the best robe and put it on him. Place a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Prepare the fattened calf for a feast. We are going to celebrate. My son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Meanwhile, the older son returns from working in the fields. Hearing music and laughter, he asks a servant what is happening. When he learns his younger brother has returned and a celebration is ongoing, he is furious. He refuses to join. "I've slaved for you all these years," he tells his father when confronted. "I've obeyed every command, yet you've never thrown a feast for me. But now, this son of yours who squandered your wealth on wild living comes back, and you celebrate?" The father replies gently, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The story ends here, not with judgment for either son, but with an invitation to understand the depth of grace. The Father's love reflects God's own heart toward us, a love that doesn't count our failures but celebrates our return. Whether we identify with the prodigal, who rebels or the older son who struggles with self-righteousness, this story reminds us that God's arms are always open. His love is not earned, it's freely given. So, why does this matter to you? Because we've all wandered, we've all fallen short, but the beauty of grace is this: no matter how far we stray, we can always return home. The Father is waiting, not with condemnation, but with celebration. Share this story, tag a friend, and remind someone today of the incredible unconditional love of God. # Bible, # Jesus, # God, # Jews, # Christian, # Christianity, # faith.